Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. Coming up tonight, the busy spring sports calendar rolls on. In the Coach's Corner, we're joined by the man looking to lead his Greyhounds to another girls' tennis state title. Plus, our Athlete of the Week shines on the mound at Zionsville and also helps kids in another country grow to love the game of baseball.
We got to see communities down there be formed through baseball, and I also got to see our community work together to donate a generous amount.
We're serving up an all-new Zone Extra right now.
Hi, everybody. Good evening to you, and welcome to the Zone Extra. I'm Anthony Calhoun. What a week of high school sports with plenty of great action as we move into the final month of the regular season in both sports. How about that? Hey, in the Coach's Corner, he's leading the three-time defending state champion Carmel girls tennis team. Hounds head coach Dan Burnett is here in studio for a great conversation. Can't wait to talk to Coach. Plus, our Athlete of the Week is one of the top pitchers at Zionsville, but also shines off the diamond. We introduce you to Eagles senior Mateo Wells, and on the campus segment tonight, we spotlight a special moment at Purdue for former Westfield football standout Dylan Thieneman. Now, let's take a look at this week in high school sports. In basketball, congratulations to Kokomo Senior Center Flory Badunga. He was named the Indiana's 2024 Mr. Basketball this week in his senior season here. Badunga averaged 19 points, 13 rebounds, and nearly 4.5 blocks per game, leading the Wildcats to a 25-4 record and a sectional title. Badunga is also a two-time Indiana Gatorade Player of the Year and will play ball collegiately, that is, next season at Kansas. And last Friday in the Hoosier Crossroads, it was a baseball clash as Westfield hosted Fisher's first inning Tiger strike first, folks. Ben Hammond with a shot that goes all the way to the wall. It's an RBI double as the Houston Dons scores. It's a 1-0 game right there. We're going to move ahead here to the 6th, and Rocks down 3 looking to rally here. Match Grozlak here, a sharp single up the middle. Braden Hibbler scores, and it's a 4-2 ball game. But Fisher's, they were just too much. Top of the 7th here, Hammond again, an RBI single increases the lead, and the Tigers get the win, 5-3. They get the victory in that matchup there. Okay, more Hoosier Crossroads action. Noblesville hosting Franklin Central Friday. Pick it up, bottom of the 2nd here. Trevor Corbett back up the middle. The infield single scores a run. Miller's led 2-0 that point. Bottom of the 4th, Corbett at the plate again, sends it to left center. That's a sacrifice fly that scores. Brady Bishop is 4-0 Noblesville. That was more than enough, folks. Support here for Nolan Decker, 5th inning. He strikes out. Nevin Totoro, one of 10 punch-outs for Decker, and the Millers win this one. Final score, 7-2 is the final. All right, here's a look at this week's Class 4A coaches poll in boys. Of course, baseball, that is. You got Center Grove, number 1. The Greyhounds of Carmel, number 2. Noblesville, 3. Floyd Central, 4. And McCutcheon rounding out the top 5 there in the latest Class 4A baseball coaches poll. All right, moving to softball now, where it may be hard to believe, but we are less than a month away from the start of the state tournament. How about that? In fact, the sectional round, the draw that is, takes place coming up on Sunday. Last Thursday was a good one, though, as Avon went on the road to face Center Grove, and scoreless in the bottom of the 2nd. You got Sydney Herman here, deep to right center. That's gone. A solo home run gives the Trojans an early lead in this one. Later in the inning, Ava Krupa here sends one the other way. That goes all the way to the wall. That scores a run on the double, and Center Grove leads 2-0. After Avon cuts the lead in half, the Trojans, well, they come right back. Bryn Meyer drops one into left field. Munson comes home to score, and Center Grove goes on to win this one. How about that? 3-1 is the final. All right, here's a look at the top of this week's Class 4A softball coaches poll. Number 1, Lake Central. Castle, number 2 this week. You see Penn 3. And a tie for a 4th there overall in the 4A softball coaches poll. You got New Palestine, and we have Mooresville there in that 4A softball coaches poll. Okay, boys lacrosse action last Friday night. Hamilton Southeastern hosting Cathedral, and scoreless halfway through the first here in Bonacuse here. The nice play, spins, shoots, and scores. Yeah, the Irish strike first. Move ahead to the third. Check out Trey Boyson here, the great individual effort. He finds the back of the net. HSC down just by one. But a minute later, Cathedral finds Gus Arts here, makes the great run, and no problem, he scores. Irish get the win. 12-8 is the final. Girls lacrosse action. Last Thursday was Carmel hosting Hamilton County rival Noblesville. Second quarter, Hounds looking good. Avery Gale in front of the net, shoots and scores. Carmel up 8-2. Third quarter, Millers, well, they're going to battle back. Natalie Blackburn, the nice move, and she finds the back of the net. Coming up there, Noblesville trails 9-7. But the Hounds, they're just too tough in this one. Fourth quarter, you got Brecken Hare, the goal there. Carmel gets the win. Final score, 15-11 is the final as the Greyhounds get it done there in lacrosse. All right, time for a break. Much more coming your way here tonight on the Zone Extra. Glad you're hanging out with us. Up next is the Coach's Corner. His Hounds are the defending girls tennis state champions. We got Carmel's Dan Burnett is here in studio for a conversation. Cannot wait for that. And still ahead, he shines on the mound and in the community with an addition to our Athlete of the Week from Zionsville. That story still to come.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
All right, welcome back to the Zone Extra tonight. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Time now for our Coach's Corner. He's leading one of the top tennis programs in the state as the Hounds chase a fourth straight state championship. Please welcome to the Zone Extra tonight, Carmel Tennis head coach Dan Burnett. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And just hearing that fourth straight state championship, that is incredible. We know what kind of program that you have there at Carmel when it comes to girls tennis here, but take me through this. Just how special has it been a part of this program here?
Well, first off, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Secondly, you know, I've been doing this is my 18th year doing this, and you can't take winning for granted.
Yeah.
And every year is a new year. It presents the same struggles, at the same time different struggles, and you know, what you try to do is get your girls and your players in the best spot possible to be successful at the end of the season. And you know, every year that's different.
Yeah.
And depends on who graduates, it depends on, you know, which players are playing and where they're playing in particular spots. And so really, especially the girls' season here in the spring, because we have a lot of, you know, teams have spring break. So you play a lot of matches in a very short amount of time. And so you have to really pay attention to scores. You have to talk to a lot of coaches. And I'll tell you, what's special is just the girls at Carmel have really adapted to that. And they're going to go out and compete regardless of who they're playing.
Yeah, we're taking a look at yourself there, obviously, with the ladies here, and just you look at this team. I know you've been a part of one of those state championships there. It's one thing when, you know, you can say, hey, we won a state championship 3 years or whatever it may be, but when you're the defending title state champs, everybody's coming for you. What is making this team so special right now? What you like about your ladies?
Well, I'll tell you what, the target on the back is fairly, you know, normal at Carmel. And I will say, and in my previous years in North Central also, but the thing about that is each opportunity for these girls is a new opportunity. And you got girls that graduate, you got girls that come back, but they're playing in different spots. It's different pressure. And so the way we look at it is next person up, next girl up, and we're gonna go out and coach them. We want to be excited. The team, we need a team environment. tennis is very difficult. You only have 7 players playing 5 spots, right? And so the thing about that is, we have a team of 49 girls.
Wow.
And how do you keep those girls connected? How do you keep the team connected? How do you turn tennis into a team sport? Because everyone knows it's very individualistic. And so one of the things that I've done over the years is we've tried to make it about the team and not so much about the individual.
That's good.
And the thing is you need to win 3 out of 5,
Yeah.
And everybody on the team has a role.
That's right.
And so you're just trying to get them to play their role. You're trying to get them to compete every day. And honestly, we had lost quite a bit of talent last year in our the three-peat, but these girls are working very hard. And this year there's quite a bit of parity in the state. There are a lot of teams that really could win this when it comes down to the state championship. And with the weather issues that we've had, and you sprinkle in these spring breaks, it's going to be interesting. And we're all playing very high-level pressure matches in the next 2.5 weeks before the sectional draw comes out and before we engage in that sectional. And it honestly is, from a coaching perspective, is so fun because it all matters. Every day matters. Every practice matters. Every match matters. And these girls are embracing that mentality.
I want to ask you, because we're taking some look at some video of you talking to your team there. You know how fortunate you are to be at Carmel. You get so much backing, not just from the school, but the parents, the community as well. What have you enjoyed the most about being the head coach there?
I'll tell you what, the thing that I have acknowledged and have seen is that from a young age, these girls and these players are conditioned to do their best in everything they do. And so most of these girls are involved because it's spring, they're involved in their clubs, academic competitions, all this stuff. But when they come out to tennis practice, I will tell you, it's tennis. And they understand the obligations, they understand what they're trying to do. They know that this team has been very successful, but at the same time, I think each player embraces the idea that they're trying to get better each day. And it's not me versus you, it's how do we all improve going forward. And I will say, these girls have embraced it. We had an early season loss to Guerin without our #1 singles player. But we came back and won the Carmel Invitational with very strong teams in that, and we won it on our depth. We won it with 2 singles and 2 doubles, winning the championship. And the success and the formula for winning a state championship is you have to have depth.
Oh yeah.
It's the glamour spots are 1 singles, 1 doubles, right? Because they get to compete in the state tournament. But it's the other spots and it's the other players buying in and really embracing the team mentality that moves you forward.
All right, well, Coach, listen, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We appreciate it. Make it 4 straight, okay?
Let's go.
Get it done.
All right,
for the
thank
grass.
you.
Okay, we're going to take a
Absolutely.
break. So ahead here on the Zone Extra tonight is our athlete of the week. He's making a mark on the Zionsville baseball program as well as an international community. Coming up, meet Eagles pitcher Mateo Wells. That's on the way. Plus, we go on campus tonight with the Purdue football team as former Westville standout Dylan Thieneman. We'll catch up with him and so much more. Still to come here on the Zone Extra.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
All right, we're back here on the Zone Extra. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Our athlete of the week shines on the mound at Zionsville High School, but he's also making a difference in the lives of kids in a different country. Eagles senior Mateo Wells entered the week with a perfect 3-0 record and an ERA, get this, of 0.61. He is committed to play collegiately at High Point next year. But there's more to his story tonight, folks. Wells has a family in Colombia and would donate baseball gear he didn't use anymore to kids down in Colombia. Now, after seeing photos and videos of the impact of the donations, Wells spearheaded a donation drive involving his team and the Zionsville community. The response was incredible, bringing 2 communities in different countries together through baseball.
I asked the community, hey, I'm doing this, if you guys just have any extra stuff, it'll be grateful. Like, I'll be really grateful to receive it. And then we received over 550 pounds worth of equipment. A year later, I went there and I saw, like, I played with the game with a bunch of Colombian kids and they were telling us that these kids are like now getting off the street more. Like, it's just, they're building communities.
It's definitely special. I mean, baseball's played all over, and but to see, two communities from two totally different places come together, it is special.
I got to see communities down there be formed through baseball, and I also got to see our community work together to donate a generous amount. That's something that I just never happened before for me, and I just love seeing all of my teammates' reactions when I showed them pictures of, like, the kids smiling, just having a good time, just seeing that their equipment being used.
He's been great. He's been great with our young kids, or the younger players in the program, but also, just the young kids in the community. I mean, he's fantastic. He's definitely a leader on the team, and he works hard, and he's getting what he deserves right now.
I just try to lead by example, just trying to be as perfect as I can, helping out a lot, shagging, just not really just slacking off during practice, especially in games. I always try to be the loudest, just trying to just help as much as I can, not be as much vocal, but be more as an example.
What a wonderful story. Job well done, my friend. Okay, time for a break. More to come your way on the Zone Extra, including our Play of the Week. Plus is the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Now it's time to go on campus tonight, where we catch up with a former Central Indiana High School athlete as they compete at the college level. This week we head to Purdue with the Boilermakers football team. Last month during spring football practices, defensive back Dylan Thieneman was recognized for the third team All-American honor he earned as a freshman just last fall. The former Westfield standout started all 12 games, was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, led the Boilermakers in tackles, and also had 6 interceptions. Dylan said he was caught off guard by the moment, but is proud of his accomplishments so far.
It was super surprising. They didn't tell me anything, so he brought it up, and then he started saying some things. He brought me up. I look over and then my parents walk in, and I was like, "What? Like, what's going on?" And then I saw it like kind of rolled up there, so I knew it was gonna happen soon. I just didn't know when. It's an awesome feeling. It's great, but gotta let to my teammates, because teammates are the real reason that I was able to play, able to get up there. So it feels great. I never thought I would be able to make it this far. I kind of just, at the beginning, it was like put my head down, see where I can go, and then I think I've made it pretty far, but the journey's not done.
What an incredible year for him. Now it's time to ask the commissioner. Each week we take one of your questions to IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. Here's the question for this week. As we enter year 2 of boys volleyball as an IHSAA emerging sport, what have you seen in terms of progress that the sport has made in Indiana?
Well, boys volleyball has done exactly what we anticipated when it became an emerging sport a year and a half ago. We're moving into the second season, and we've seen significant growth in the number of teams, and we do expect that number to be at least 1/4 of the membership, or over 100 teams this spring playing volleyball. And if that's the case, it'll go to our board of directors later this month, in the month of April here, and could potentially be a fully recognized sport when we'll have a first state championship next year, but that will be determined here in the future.
Always great to hear from the commissioner as well. Hey, if you have a question for the commissioner, don't forget you can submit your questions. Send us a tweet. Use the Zone Extra and ask the commish. Who knows, your question may be on the show. Now, here is our Play of the Week. Last week it was Zionsville visiting Brownsburg. Scoreless in the 7th inning until Maddie Bennett here sends this pitch deep to right center and gone. A home run for the only run of the game as the Eagles get the 1-0 road win. Our crews, of course, see a lot of great action, but we want to see your best plays every week too. Don't forget, you can send your plays of the week right here to us at wishtv.com as well. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching the Zone Extra. We appreciate it. We'll see you back here next week, same time, same place.